It's nice to just be able to make a good record and get along and have a nice time. Did your band there's been a lot of changes over the years? Are you coming to a point now where you were just really settling in, having a good time, producing records, everything's going pretty smoothly, or what?
It's a very good time, I think, for Depeche Mode. We've got our families. We enjoy being together and working together, and this album was very smooth to make, and obviously at this time of our career I think it'd be very hard to make records and go on tours if you weren't getting on reasonably well.
So does that mean that you are becoming, do you feel that you guys are getting older as well, the fans are getting older? How do you feel the change?
Well, it's difficult to describe. You can't, we go from one record to the next and one tour to the next, and we don't really plan beyond that, and I think that's healthy too. It keeps it fresh, and it keeps that kind of excitement of getting back together and seeing how much we've grown, and there's always a lot of life to talk about in between that. It's all the same jokes in the studio. In some ways we haven't changed at all, but in other ways, there's a lot of life there in 30 years. So, like I said earlier on, those experiences go into the work, definitely.
I think the important thing is, about Depeche Mode making records, after 30 years, is for us to remain relevant, and also to pick up younger fans. I think when you describe a situation of us getting older, the fans are getting older, it's sort of...
There's nothing wrong with that.
There's nothing wrong with that, but on the other hand, we do believe that the music we're making is relevant, and and I think we do pick up lots of young fans every album as well.
Yeah, because a lot of young musicians, for example, in Denmark, when you listen to their albums, you can almost hear stuff from you guys in there. Well, how does it feel to be able to be, a constant inspiration, not just an inspiration maybe 10 years ago, but you guys keep inspiring young musicians, and how does that feel?
Well, you can always tell as well from when you perform, like on the last tour, on the Playing the Angel tour. One of the first things we all noticed was that there was a lot of young people. In the audience, and on that tour we played to I think close to 3 million people throughout that tour. It was probably one of the largest amounts of people we've ever played to. So there has to be a new generation of people listening to Depeche Mode music. Otherwise, because some of them are dropping off the side of the world, aren't they? But sorry, Mark, you was going to say.
No, I was just going to say it's nice that we get cited all the time by all these young musicians as being great influences, and it's always flattering. They don't necessarily sound like us exactly. I don't hear our sound necessarily there, but we seem to influence people from people like Kanye West, who you'd never expect, right through to people like MGMT, who maybe you might expect a little bit, but from all kinds of genres.
Do you guys listen to any Danish bands? Any Danish bands that you are?
There is one band.
Ravenettes.
Ravenettes.
Yeah. There was another band
who remixed their track.
Trendemøller.
Trendemøller, yeah.
About Trendemøller, how did that come along? Was that you guys picked him out, or how did that go?
I think it was you, wasn't it, Mark?
Yeah, we liked a lot of his stuff, so we asked him to do a remix for us.
How do you like the remix then? That must be sort of strange having somebody else work.
It's a good version of the song. Dancing, it's a good dance version.
10 years ago, a colleague of mine did an interview with you in the studio, actually, in Denmark, and he asked you, where are you guys going to be in 10 years? And he said, well, we're probably going to touring the world, sort of like the Rolling Stones, coming back from another tour, or whatever. So since we get an interview...
So I was right.
So since we get an interview every 10 years, I have to ask you, where are you guys going to be in 10 years' time now?
That's really hard, and... Depeche Mode, as a rule, don't plan too much. We know we're going on tour, then we don't plan. We're going to do an album and then another tour. It just happens, basically.
Space travel is becoming possible
Space travel, yeah.
That sounds interesting.
Yeah, we might be in space somewhere in 10 years.
Yeah.
But do you think you are going? How do you feel yourselves? Are you going to feel that you are going to be able to keep up, or you must be thinking about?
I think if you have to assume that, assuming the band is healthy, obviously, you know, I mean, that your health comes into this, you know, assuming it's healthy. I mean, I can't see any reason why there wouldn't be any Depeche Mode albums or any tours. But to what age? I
mean,
know.
look, you know, to perform on stage for a couple of hours, like, you know, as a front guy of this band, I know that I have to be in tip-top condition. It's like, there's no... But then I look at someone like Mick Jagger, who takes good care of himself and still manages to do that for a couple of hours in front of his band. He's like 60, so... But, you know, there is a lot, you know, there's part of that is vanity as well, you know, that keeps you kind of like in shape so that you can do this stuff, because it, you know, you keep the body in shape and the mind does follow, you know, that saying is true, I believe.
About the album, I mean, you guys have done quite a few. The feeling for this album, anyways, is it going to be one of the ones that we're going to remember forever, or how does that rate for you guys?
That's
what do you
something
feel?
that
It's in the
history
laps
will,
of the gods.
You know, exactly. We know that we've made a great record. I mean, I'm not even going to be modest about it. It's a great record, and you know, we managed to produce this together after many, many years, and doing a lot of work together, and that's all you can really wish for, is to produce music that you feel really proud of. And you know, I think I speak for all of us in saying that we feel proud of this record, and history will, you know, be the test of time.
Yeah, because when I listen to the albums, there's hits all over the place. Which of the tracks do you think that we're going to be remembering from this one? What's your feeling?
I don't know.
I think there's several. I think there's Wrong, Hold to Feed, Peace. I think that this album actually has quite a few possible singles. In Sympathy, I mean, it's quite strong for that.
And you guys had a lot of tracks to choose from, and chose, you know, some of them aren't going to make the album. Is that normal for you guys to have a lot more than you need, or
No.
So that's different this time, yeah.
Yeah.
How hard, easy was it to choose the final ones then?
It was very difficult. There are 5 tracks that are going on the box set that I think they could have been interchangeable with songs on the album.
Yeah, sure.
And yeah, there were 4 tracks that we never even got round to recording that, you know, we just discarded, which meant that we kept the you know, quality control up.
Because I talked to the guy at the studios in Denmark. He said back when you worked there, you had sort of an agreement that we're not going to do anything if we feel we've heard it anywhere before. He told me that once you discarded some stuff you'd been working on for days, and you thought, oh, it sounds a bit like Paul McCartney or something, and then you
still hear that in the studio, like, you know, but it would be like sounds like The Cure or something like that.
We used to have a rule as well not to use the same sound twice, which may have been a silly
That
rule.
was kind of a stupid rule. I don't think I actually remember that rule, but we probably had to eat our words with that one.
All right. Are we up?
Yep.
We still have the rule, though, that if we sound like Paul McCartney, we scrap it.
Yeah. Especially, you know, with wings.
Fantastic, guys.